What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and today we are going to talk about the next region to be revamped here in Generation Zero. But really quickly, before we get into this video, we have a new weapon skin DLC dropping tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing a pretty mega stream where we're going to be going off and trying to grind as many, if not all, of these weapon skins in the span of a single stream. So stay tuned for that one tomorrow, starting just whenever I start up. So getting back to this region revamp, the mountains region is hands down going to be the next region to be revamped. We have some telltale signs from some hints from the map, as well as it just kind of being the last region that is really in need of some revamps. So first off, the hints that we've gotten from the map. So it seems these days we learn about region revamps from a handful of methods. This time, we're finding new resistance bases in the mountains. We'll have 6 of them, which is the same as the forest region, balancing off this southern portion of the map. But today, we aren't going to talk about these base locations. I'm excited to find out more about them, but I'd rather look past to the real prize, which is one of the last regions left to be revamped into the modern day Gen Zero standards. The mountains region has always had so much potential to not just be an epic landscape, but also be filled with interesting things to explore and visit too. Let's start off with Clint, probably my second favorite city in the map outside of Hagaboda. This quaint yet prosperous seaside city has always been such a pleasant place. It's got some good machine spawns in the area and accessible fuel. It's great, but with Generation Zero cities becoming much more detailed and environmentally driven, I'm excited to see what the team will do with this one. Hagaboda was such an unexpected evolution that I feel like we could see something pretty awesome happen with Clint here. From making houses have more personality, maybe a renovation on the apartment buildings, to Clint's Harbor, a place I think could be used for some really cool boat set pieces. I spend a lot of off-cam time hanging out in Hagaboda these days, and I hope Clint can become another city like that for me here in the game, where there's enough machines to fight and things to explore for it to be consistently one of the most interesting map locations. But from the region's biggest city to a small, unpresuming club off in the coastal woods, the Sky Club is one of the best firing ranges in the whole dang game, and has served me so much purpose throughout the years. It's actually not even funny. I use this for testing out every gun and weapon added to the game, and will continue to use this spot likely for the rest of Generation Zero's lifetime, unless if we somehow get a better firing range. But the Sky Club offers pretty much everything you'd need, bar one type of target that we'll get to here. Cool aside, the bullet decals had bugged out for a bit on targets, so I'm really happy to see them come back. Huge shoutouts to the team for crushing that decal issue right away. But the one type of target I'm really crossing my fingers for here are some long-range targets. I've never been able to fully test out the sniper rifles, and having some sort of a new long-range target added to the game that renders bullet holes really far just in this location would be an absolute dream for testing out the long-range weaponry, and even going back to some older weapons that I've been curious about. These friggin' hunters, man. But seriously, I really hope that the Sky Club will be one of the locations that gets just a huge change here. There's a lot of forestry around here that can be kind of cleared out and utilized to build up the Sky Club and turn it from like the best target range in the game to the best target range in all video games. Heck, man, let's go real big here. There's plenty of room in this location, but I'd kind of prefer for it not to be a base building location, to kind of preserve the original energy of this spot. Though that one is up to the team entirely and probably has already had a decision made on it, but a man can hope, right? Now for a spot I'm hoping we'll see a huge change at, the military base just outside of Muscadin Port. This spot's a good spot to explore with some of the best terrain work of the whole map, but the one thing I think it could do for, outside of maybe a base building spot overlooking it all, are more machine spawns. This place could be swarming with machines, and it would greatly spice up the missions that you do here. It's a beautiful spot, really, and it's always felt like such a waste to have just one mission and you're done here. So having a couple good reasons to come back would be huge for this location in specific, almost across the entire map. And speaking of those missions, if we could have a new way to access the assembly station inside for those repeat visits, that would be the hugest thing to come from this region's revamp, I think. We lack repeatable indoor combat scenarios in this game, and getting this spot back with some refreshed machine spawns would be really good to see, I think, giving us a reason to return here for reliable fights and loot, and also the exploration benefit. And then lastly, for interior combat, Muscadin has always been the spot with some of the best potential outside of Torsberga in the south coast. And even though I wouldn't like to see too much done to the actual interior of this place, if we could have a spot here for Apocalypse machine spawns, it would be too sick. Facing off against hunters and doggos as you proceed to the exterior port, where you could then have a set spawn for something like an Apocalypse Harvester. Dudes, it would be too cool to try to gauntlet this location, no meds, and see if you could clear the whole port. I've always really hoped to see Muscadin be a quote-unquote dungeon for us to go through, and it would be awesome to see this region's revamps have a couple good interior combat options added to the game. But I mean, the whole region is just asking for more. Like, more trails and hiking routes, more caves, and maybe even more Lusek commune set pieces. The mountaintops would be great for all of that culty stuff and spooky environments. So let me know, anything you're hoping for in the mountains region when they finally get revamped? There are too many great locations, so I'm going to have a blast exploring this region when it's all done and dusted. From the mountains to the military installations, this region has so much potential to become one of the best regions in the map. You could almost say it has mountains of potential. But, my dudes, I want to say thank you for watching this short video on what could be the final region revamps we see in GZ. We'll be talking about this a little bit more in a separate video, but it's so awesome seeing the years-long effort come to fruition here in Generation Zero. But anyway, enough rambling from me here. Cheers, folks, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.